Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to the class of Business Research Method. In the last class we discussed about the research method. That what is research? Research is simply an attempt to discover something, a process that where we find out the solutions of a problem simply is known as research, or we can say a process that is repeating again and again, search again and again to find out a new thing within an old thing. That is simply known as a research. Research is a systematic process. Already we have discussed in the last lecture. Today we are going to discuss the second lecture, and what we will cover in the second lecture. The second lecture will contain the objectives of research, the purpose of research, various areas of research, and the types of research. One by one we are going to discuss every topic in detail. Before starting the lecture, I would like to share that when I uploaded my first lecture, most of the students they have demanded कि सर जी मुकम्मल lecture चले आहा English की मवर कोई, and try your level best to explain the concepts in Pashto as well, because most of the students they said that sir we are not able to pick the whole lecture in English. No वर्सरा कोशिश कोई चे Pashto हम पके involve कई. So inshallah shall try my level best to explain the concepts in English as well as in Pashto. And zama hatman कोशिश बदाई कि जितना सोला most चीज़ों ने example सरा explain कमा, बाकी चे कम reference से कम text book माता सोला refer करी दी इंशाल्लाह तासो आगे ने इस्तेफादा कोई further reading दे पागा, because these lectures are only the guidelines. Inshallah I shall try my level best to make your idea fully clear with proper examples, and for further explanation you must have to proceed with the books. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. Now we are going to start the first topic, that is objectives of research. Now let's start the first topic, that is objectives of research. Now in this topic, objectives of research, the idea of the topic is simply stated that what are the main aims, target of a research, what basically research want to get. Aya yo research ka walo hadaf si. Now there are so many different objectives of research. A few of the objectives I'm just going to share with you. The main primary objective of a research can be that research is to discover the new facts. What does it mean? It means chikala hum researcher research kai, so the intention of the researcher are that he or she must discover a new data, a new thing. Like for example, today, for example, let's suppose misal khabara like us chikam de coronavirus ragale de, so definitely economy is disturbed. Ab now researcher want to find out that in this situation, this adverse situation, either the e-learning will be effective or not. E-learning mean electronic learning. Aya in this condition ke e-learning chikam de dab effective we ka dab effective navi. We know that e-learning is, and we know that e-learning is effective. But in this situation, especially in COVID-19 situation, when there is an adverse situation, now the researcher want to find out either in this situation particularly will the e-learning will be effective or not. That is the thing that the researcher want to discover. So that is known as to discover the new facts, the new data, the new concepts. Next objective can be to verify and test important facts. Like for example, one of the researcher, he or she has conducted some data, some facts in any of a country. Now he or she wants to check out that either the same thing is applicable in another country or not. Like for example, your researcher de Mr. A. Again for example, your ABC country de, let's suppose UK show. UK के अगर research करेगा चे chocolate incorporate in intelligence. मतलब चे कम खलक chocolate ज़्यादा खुरी, नो अगोई चे कम intelligence IQ level दे सही that is more good. मतलब UK I'm talking about. अब योद्धा से researcher चे कि अगर पाकिस्तान के या अफगानिस्तान की रिसर्च को वाड़ी on the same concept that chocolate incorporate in intelligence either in Afghanistan or Pakistan or not. It means that is the thing that the first he collected the data in the UK that the chocolate incorporate in intelligence in the UK country or in ABC country, and now they want to check that either the same factor is applicable, the same facts are applicable here in Pakistan or Afghanistan or not. That is another aim, another objective of research, that is to verify and test important facts. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. The next objective can be to analyze an event or process or phenomena to identify the cause and effect relationship. First of all, let me explain what is cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship means कि यो variable दिला सा बल variable चे दे effect की. Like suppose मासरा यो variable दे salary money और बल variable दे जमा productivity. Money is one variable, productivity is another variable. When organization is increasing my salary, this increase in the salary will affect my productivity level. आया कि सोरा for example जमा salary सेवा की उरा जमा productivity हम सेवा की क्या या for example ज़वेल ऐशम कि सोरा जमा knowledge सेवा की उरा जमा maturity level हम सेवा की क्या. It means that one variable is affecting to another variable. This relationship can be cause and effect relationship. It can be direct, it can be indirect. Is it? So now the next research purpose can be that either the whole phenomena possess the cause and effect relationship or not. चलता मैं example निकल आते is retention leads to motivation or not. Retention mean retaining of employees. मतलब organization के employees सातल for the long time period. To maintain the employees in the organization for the long time period, that is known as retention. बरकरार सातल यूसीज HR policy da basically. Aya retention chikama policy da from the HR side regarding to employees. Will it provide employees motivation or not? Will intention leads to motivation? Aya retention chede ab motivation effect kai the employees motivation or not? That is another clear the objective to find out the cause and effect relationship in the phenomena. Now the fourth one, to develop new scientific tools, concepts and theories to solve and understand problem. Very simple. So scientific theories develop kawal, new ideas build up kawal. So nave ideas rawastal simply. And the fifth one is to overcome or solve the problems occurring in our everyday life. मतलब रोजाना चे कम प्रॉब्लम होंगे फेस को. रिसर्च डजंट मीन कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ पर्टिकुलर एरिया दे पा रहे हैं डेली लाइफ के हम कम प्रॉब्लम दे अवॉइड दे पा रहा हम इन्वेस्टिगेशन प्रोसेस की देशी बिकॉज इन्वेस्टिगेशन इज आल्सो टाइप ऑफ रिसर्च नो उस तासु त वेले शमा कि सपोज कि जमुंग कम करंट पर रोडून माने ट्रैफिक पैटर्न दे डे बाय डे you are definitely feeling stuck in the traffic pattern. आया डे कम ट्रैफिक पैटर्न दे मतलब गाड़ी कम दी अगर बिल्कुल रूल्स रेगुलेशन वायोलेशन फॉर एग्जांपल कई और रोडून माने डेढ़ दिया ट्रैफिक की डेढ़ दिया तो रशी. So now how we can control or what are the different ways to control this traffic pattern clear on the road in our daily life? Definitely this situation also needs clear another type of investigation and it can be a research objective as well. So hope inshallah the first topic that is about the objectives of research can be clear to you. Now we will move to the next slide and there we will discuss about the purpose of doing research. Now this slide, the purpose of doing research. Now first of all let me explain the concept that what does it mean. This slide hadaf dare कि why a researcher is doing a research. For what purpose we are doing some investigation. मतलब कि यो researcher कला हम research कई नो definitely से research का वोलो दे पारा आगे दे पारा से हदफ भी इधर से कार का से खामा खास मकसद बुलरी. अब why? What are those purposes? There are so many purposes, but the more utilized or the more famous I'm going to explain, that is number one, the exploratory purpose. Sometimes it is known as formulative purpose, the descriptive research or sometimes known as descriptive purpose, and the explanatory research or sometimes it is known as explanatory purpose. Of course, number one, first of all, exploratory. exploratory ta munga formulative purpose ya research moyo. Ab what is called exploratory? By the name it is clear, explore something, find out something new, dig out something new, find out something fresh. Exploratory research या exploratory purpose of a researcher आगा purpose दे चे कम के यो researcher first time यो sees explore कवल वाड़ी. He or she has been finding out clear a new way, a new method clear of a new thing, or researchers are involved to explore something new, a बिल्कुल complete new topic. Like I said, for example चे उस पूरे 11 या 12 चे कम दे planet सी. अब your researcher दे आगा वही चे I want to dig out the 12th, 13th or 14th planet as well. अब दा यो दा सी research चे दिना पहला दे माने research नदी शवी. It means yeah, in other words we can say आगा पर for example आगा contents चे कम माने डेर कम research शवी. Literature review available नहीं डेर ज़्यादा. Is it? So to explore such idea we need or the researcher need the exploratory research. सादा अल्फाज के exploratory research आगा research दे चिकम बारह के डेटा डेरा ज्यादा कमई नो आ बारह के फर्दर एक्सप्लेनेशन दे पारा फर्दर स्टडी दे पारा चिकम इन्वेस्टिगेशन कीगी दैट इन्वेस्टिगेशन इज सिंपली नोन एज योर एक्सप्लोरेटरी research or exploratory purpose. No kala researchers chikum they definitely do the exploratory research as well, because they want to find out, they want to dig out some more detailed information about the content. Upon that we have a very reduced or we have a very meager database of information or body of knowledge. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now we will move to the next concept, that is descriptive research, descriptive purpose. Sometimes the researcher they continue their investigation to describe clear a phenomena. Descriptive research come de the mostly chede the quantitative de. By the name it is clear descriptive. The word derived from the word description. It means that where we are describing a phenomena, where we are describing something. So sometimes researchers do their research, do their investigation to describe a phenomena or to describe a process. Like suppose, take the example of a store, a departmental store. Like for example, XYZ your departmental store de, या finest checkum departmental store de. अब your researcher da way I want to check out che आया per week या per day या per hour 4% customers चेदे let's suppose आगा finest ना shopping की. Now at the end of the research he or she is going to explain the quantitative terms, the numeric terms clear in percentages regarding to the customer shopping. मतलब your researcher दे वही चीज़ for example finest के रिसर्च का वाला वाड़ा में चे पर वीक पर डे या पर आवर सूरा कस्टमर जल्द ना शॉपिंग की. इज इट नो उस आखिर के अगर रिसर्च चे दे परसेंटेज फॉर्म की एक्सप्लेन की, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल 10% ऑफ द कस्टमर, 30% ऑफ द कस्टमर, 50% ऑफ द कस्टमर, 80% ऑफ द कस्टमर, सही फॉर पर डे या पर आवर द शॉपिंग की. अब दैट रिसर्च ऑफ अ रिसर्चर इज सिंपली नोन एज डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च. Why? Because numerically, quantitative wise, the researcher is going to describe something. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Next thing is explanatory. By the name it is clear, explanatory. Here the researcher are going to explain something. Norum Sadal Faske, the why question is basically explained in the exploratory research. Let me give you an example. Suppose यो रिसर्चर चेदे अगर यो डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च उकड़ला एंड डिस्क्रिप्टिव रिसर्च के रिसर्चर वही चे 10% ऑफ द पेरेंट्स दे अब्यूजेस देयर चाइल्ड या चिल्ड्रन. मतलब लेस परसेंट चेकम वालिदैन दी पेरेंट्स दी आधा खपल बच्चों तक कंजागाने की या तंगवल की. दैट इज डिस्क्रिप्टिव बिकॉज 10% he is explaining 10% of the parents they are going to abuse their children. अब नेक्स्ट रिसर्चर चे दे एक्सप्लेनेटरी रिसर्च कॉल वाड़ी. अब एक्सप्लेनेटरी के वो रिसर्चर दा एक्सप्लेनेशन कही चे व्हाई पेरेंट्स अब्यूजेस देयर चिल्ड्रन. आया वाले पेरेंट्स चे दे कंजागाने कही या डिस्टर्बेंस कही फॉर एग्जांपल द खपल चिल्ड्रन ला. अब दैट व्हाई इज नोन एज योर एक्सप्लेनेटरी रिसर्च. सो समटाइम when researchers do the investigation, sometimes they have the purpose of exploring something new, sometimes they are going to describe something, and sometimes they are going to explain something. They want to solve the why problem. So that is basically the main idea, that why the researchers do the research, or what are the different purposes of doing the research. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now we will move to the next slide, and here we are going to discuss the different areas of research. A very typical topic. Areas of research, simply stated, that what are the different areas, what are the different grounds for a research. It can be market research, it can be consumer research, it can be advertisement research, it can be strategic point of view of research. There are so many areas of research. Well, first of all, market research. What is market research? Market research simply means collecting information about the product strategy, its marketing situation, competition faced by the product, and so on. Let me explain the market research in a simple words. Market research study about the markets. In the marketing, definitely we have studied a topic by the name of market segmentation. Let's suppose I'm a company. Say sure, this is a product launch kuma. First I have to study the market situation. First I have to study the nature of the market. First I have to study clear the potential of the market. Then I have to study the segmentation of the markets, that how many segments will be appropriate. Then I have to study that where I have to place my product, where I have to, for example, sell my product, which market will be more appropriate to sell my product. Is it? That is simply known as your market research. Next we have consumer research. By the name it is called customer research. Customer research is used to identify people who are in the market for the product in terms of their characteristics, attitude, interest, and motivation. Simple situation, the consumer research. Consumer research means simply study about the customers. Zamung customers soak di, zamung customers kam ziki di, zamung customers attitude. So the attitude here mean I'm talking about the buying behavior. For example, let's suppose mayo pen jod kara hai. That pen chikam de kharsawal gwadam. Is it? Ab I have to first study the market. Market with gorama, market with gorama. Definitely I have to study. I have to pick the education market, education industry with the target comma. Is it? What is the product this are linked? Us education industry ke education market ke I have to find out कि जमा consumer सोखते. Is it? I teacher आंदी, I student आंसी, for example freelancer सी who. ब्याह बगोरु च आया जमा च कम product दे अगर छोरा attention create करी दे customer जहाँ customer for example वाइखली. Then I have to, such research is simply known as your consumer research. Then we have advertising research, very common. Advertising. What is advertisement? Elanat. Now, us advertisement research ke da we have to find out aya mungo advertisement sangaku. Ka aya mungkom ad judu. No ad ke what will be the ethical contents. Business ethics ke mata sulada teach kari humdi. Concealing the facts prohibited in the advertisement. Concealing the facts simply means that product that 10 hours या for example 5 months चलेगी. हालांकि हकीकत क्या 5 months for example न चलेगी. Let's suppose I have a pen. that pen that 5 months से कार की. Its durability is 5 months. लेकिन unfortunately सिर्फ और सिर्फ 2 months तक चली देगी. The reality is, the real picture is 2 months only. It means that I am concealing, exaggerating my product. That is an unethical issue content in the advertisement. Sorry. So now organizations, your researcher, they must have to study the advertising research. So advertisement with sanga judi, contents by sanga judi. Come media will be more preferable. Cost have to be studied. Then we have strategic research. Strategic. The word came from strategio, a Latin word. Strategio means long-term planning. Now, us long-term planning ke we have to make plans for the organization. We have to find out, dig out the goals, objectives, the MBO processes, the motivation levels, the inspiration level, the direction level, all these comes under your strategic research. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Now we will move to the next slide, that here we are going to explain the types of research. Now for their common day, already most of the students clear, they are familiar with such type of research. That is number one, secondary research. Tolu ta pata tha what is secondary research. Our research already secondary sources namunga collect ko, like for example internet show, book show, journal show, the research or the data which we have gathered from the second hand sources, or the second hand collected data is simply known as your secondary research. Reports वगैरह, books वगैरह, inshallah hope idea will be clear. It has some secondary sources, like it has some sources. Secondary data, secondary research that can be get from different sources. It can be internet, it can be for example suppliers or publications. There are so many other sources as well, like government organizations, their pamphlets, their brochures, the newspapers, the magazines, the libraries, the digital libraries, and so on. Next we have characteristics of secondary research. असल के टॉपिक्स लाइक आसान है नो तक डिटेल की मतलब दूर न समा तो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स से दे लेस टाइम कंज्यूमिंग दे वक्त दूर न नहीं सी लेस कॉस्टली से मसरफ पे दूर न राजी ईज ऑफ कलेक्शन के आसान त्यादा वो लेच ऑलरेडी मुझे अवेलेबल. द सेकंड टाइप दैट इज प्राइमरी रिसर्च. That type of research in which information are collected for the first time about the topic is called primary research. By the name it is clear, primary research. Primary research means initial research. हर your field चिकम दे आगे के description चिदे that is different. मतलब the come to definition दे that differently. Like for example, उस primary research your book does explain कि primary research is that research that where the first hand information is collected by the researcher. उस statistics point of view सरा primary research से दे primary research अगर हर your data अगर हर your research चिकम माने mathematical or statistical model या formulae apply शेवी नवी that is in the original form, such is known as your primary research. मतलब चिकला researcher first hand your information पखपला gather की. Is it that like for example questionnaire survey. زوايا چیزی خلقو response عالما about the let's suppose government influence. نزل questionnaire based survey کوم. उस तक questionnaire चिकम दे that is basically my first hand information which being as a researcher I'm going to conduct. Such research is known as my primary research. Some features, some qualities of a primary research. It is costly, masraf पे देर ज़्यादा रसी, time consuming, वक्त देर निसी, difficult to collect, definitely, and good quality. The accuracy chikamada, the data accuracy, that is a bit more as compared to secondary, because this is clear the researcher first hand palai collect kai no saka age ke chances of error chikam de agar der kami ya reliability munga wel issue agar der zyati. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Next we have qualitative research and quantitative research. There are two terms. Yaude by the name it is clear quality na hota hai. Qualitative mean quality, is it? What is quality? That research that where we are not expressing clear the terms clear in the numeric terms, in the percentages term, या और research चिकम results quantitative terms के न explain की is known as your qualitative research. Or a research that is totally subjective in nature is known as your qualitative research. While quantitative research is that research where results are expressed in the quantity form, in the number form, in the percentage form. Is it? That is simply known as your quantitative research. Now look at here, qualitative research provides insight into the underlying reasons for how consumers behave and why. Suppose we want to conduct a research, and this research is regarding to the behavior of the consumer. Like as suppose your company product launch kai product A, us consumers behavior katal gwadi, buying behavior. Suppose your behavior the buying behavior. Aya consumers wale your product zyat buy kai or wale your product kam buy kai. Why consumers are for example buying one product very frequently and not the another product very frequently? What is the reason? Now this type of research that where the researcher dig out the information about the buying behavior and why they are performing such behavior, clear, that subjective nature of investigation is known as your qualitative research. Like for example, what types of features customer wants? What are the motivation that leads to the purchase of a product? And what do our customers think about our advertisement? Like this, are you happy for my teaching? Yes or no? This yes or no, or what do you think about your teacher? Is it, or what is your tendency or attitude toward your teacher? Of such a type of investigation that is totally qualitative in nature. In contrast of qualitative, we have another term which is known as quantitative research. Quantitative, by the name it is clear, it is a numerical type of research, that where the researcher explains the phenomena with the help of the numbers, with the help of the percentage, with the help of the digits. Like for example, delivers numerical data such as the number of users and purchases and their market related information. Like as it suppose your shopping mall ke 10% khalak chekam de, for example, aha chede product A buy ki, 30% khalak chede aha product B buy ki, 40% khalak chede kam de aha product C buy ki. What does it mean? It means that I am going to explain clear the result in the quantity terms. 10%, 30%, 40%. That is known as quantitative. And descriptive is also clear, comes under your quantitative technique. In other words, we can say the research that uses statistics to describe a phenomena. Statistic means some numbers, some digits. Like as it does the Kabul ke 50% to 80% khalak chikam de, they are literate. Is it? And 10% of 5 people, they are illiterate. It means that I am going to explain the literacy rate with the help of the statistics. Statistics mean numbers. Such is known as your quantitative techniques. Yeah, quantitative research. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. The primary feature of quantitative research are that large sample sizes, typically 100 to 1000 people. If you remember, I told you Chikala Hamunga mostly quantitative study cover, definitely we have to select a sample. There are two terminologies. One is known as population and one is known as sample. Population simply means the aggregate, the totality, the total observation. And that is, its size is represented by capital N. And when we take a subcategory, a subpart clear from that population for our further study, this subpart, this small portion is simply known as our sample. And its representation is by small n, which is known as the sample sizes. So definitely to study the large population, that is very much difficult. So to make easy our study investigation, we have to take some samples. And samples mostly clear vary depends upon on the study, but normally 100 to 1000. And then is the sampling. Sampling simply means that the process of selecting elements from the population data. That is simply known as the sampling methods. And mostly we have different types of sampling. Later on inshallah we will discuss in detail, but the most probability sampling is the random sampling, or sometimes it is known as simple random sampling. Simple random sampling chede dabaratun ke lecture ki inshallah zeta full detail ki explain komo, lekin dalta sirf yo idea der komo che random sampling is simple random sampling muga age ta wayu che where upon selection of each member or subject or element from the population, its probability doesn't vary, or the probability remain same, clear, is remain same. That is simply known as your simple random sampling. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Next we have applied research. We have two types of research further. One is known as applied research and another is known as basic research. By the name it is clear, applied research. The word chikam de applied, that basically applicable na rawat hai. Is it applicable? It means that when research is done within the intention of applying the result, when research is done with the intention of applying the results of its findings to solve specific problem currently being experienced in the organization. Now let me explain very simply. Applied chikam research, it is called applicable research. Applicable research means that research chikala hum organization ta yo issue ya yo problem face kegi, और organization कोशिश करी चे दे solution find out शी और दा solution चे कम दे ता मुंगा practically apply को to overcome this problem. When any of the organization or managers, they are facing any sort of problem and they want to resolve this problem, at the same time they apply clear, they find out, dig out the solutions to overcome this problem, and practically they apply the solutions to reduce the problem. Such research is known as your applied research. چې کله هم organizations کې څه مسله راشي او دا مسله حل کولو لپاره organization څه کوي organization چې دی هغه solution find out کوي چې کله solutions find out کوي and then they apply these solutions to overcome this problem which they are facing. At that time such research is known as your applicable or applied research. Like suppose Zama organization, they take the example of Salam University. Salam University के turnover देर ज़्यादा शो. Suppose Salam is facing turnover, employee turnover I'm talking about. मतलब च देर खलक च कम दे अगा organization ने spell की अगा organization ने लगे Z. अब that is a problem faced by Salam organization, Salam University. अब how Salam University has to overcome this problem? They will dig out that why people are leaving the organization so frequently. वजह से they will find out the solution, and once they will get the solution, they will apply the solutions to overcome this situation. Such research investigation of Salam University will be known as your applied research. And in contrast of the applied research, we have basic research. By the name it is clear, basic is the fundamental research. It means कि दा आगा researcher चे कम सिर्फ और सिर्फ body of knowledge create करी, further theories create करी. दा सिने दा चे your problem the particular current problem situation दे पारा या गा हल कवलो दे पारा दी. No, दा चे दे future या potential problems रातून के पारा चे कम दे. For example, research की गई that make the theories, that make the building blocks. Such research is known as your basic research, done mainly to improve our understanding of certain problems that are commonly occur in organizational settings and how to solve them. Like for example, you're going to increase the productivity of clerical workers in the service industry. I service chikama industry da telecommunication rawali. Telecommunication ki chikam clerical performance se da as a whole ratun ke 10 year de para munga sanga effect to juda wale issue. Is it? That is simply known as your basic research. Now basic research se they are practically current situation, adverse situation के apply की ना, बल्कि दास से दास सिर्फ और सिर्फ fundamentals या theory या body of knowledge create की जो रातलुन के दे पारा चीज़ों ना clear शी. Like for example, initially Maslow theory ची कमावा, Maslow hierarchy need theory. दा ची शुरू के राला that was a basic research. Why ची Maslow वे ची कला हम तासो you want to satisfy your employees, you must have to fulfill these needs. So initially Maslow clear gave a ground, a theory, a concept, a view. And that research was simply known as the basic research. Then later on, when realized by the organization that yeah, definitely we can overcome these problems, no bya agu show krala andaha theory basic research they practically implement krala, and that was known as your applied research. So basic और applied research के सिर्फ दा फर्क दे कि basic research दे current situation दे पारा नहीं apply कीगी या apply कीगी हम for the long time period span दे पारा the ground realities fundamentals या concepts emerge की, बल्कि applied research से दे applied research आगा research दे कि कम के researcher current situation solve कवलो दे पारा current problem solve कवलो दे पारा solution find out की. जो one solutions find out की then they practically apply to resolve the solutions. Hope inshallah a bit idea will be clear. Thank you so much.